The following podcast has been rated Listener MA. It contains strong language, violence, adult situations, nudity. Listener discretion is advised.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Unfiltered Sportscast. I am your host. My name is Scotty Gurman. Alongside me, as usual, I have two excellent stand-up comedians from here in the Wichita area. First to my left, I have the 1984 Kingman County T-Ball Defensive Player of the Year award winner, Mr. Jeremy Joseph.
Scotty Gurman.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm doing peachy.
Fantastic.
Yes. And we also have the 2018 Deep Throat and Hand Job Champion, gold medalist, in fact, Derek the Wreck Alders. What's up, buddy?
Salutations. Too bad you weren't in that contest.
No, I wasn't.
You couldn't deep throat an ant.
I take that as a compliment. I think if you're really good at something like that, they probably should give you a medal,
No, I meant on the other side.
Oh.
You couldn't gag an ant.
Whatever.
Except your own ant.
Oh.
Yeah, but he didn't do it with his dick.
No, did it with his tongue.
Anyways, I think that should be an Olympic sport.
Deep throating?
Yeah. Especially, I think, a winter sport as well.
Yeah?
Yeah. Cold. If you're really good at it, still get it
Jesus
hard.
Christ, with all the shrinkage? No, thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's people skiing. I can't get a boner where they're skiing. That's a little known fact about me. I don't know what it is. Something about people doing a figure eight and all that shit.
Figure eight on skis.
Well, not the figure eight, but what do they call it? Where the two are the slaloming, the back and forth, making the powder eight.
Uh-huh.
That just turns me off.
Well, welcome everybody back to the show. We had a very, very interesting weekend. We were able to interview a very good guy, Bob Willett. So those of you guys that listen to us on a regular basis, unfortunately, that show was probably the cleanest show I think we ever did.
Well, why don't you explain who he is?
That would be a good start.
I'm sorry. I was like, Bob Willett.
We had a chance to interview Chucky.
Right now, there's upwards of 7 people and Nick Foles going. Who?
Yeah.
Exactly. So Bob Willett, for those of you guys who do not know, he is the assistant general manager for Wichita Baseball 2020, which that is the AAA baseball team that we are going to get here in the Wichita area in April of 2020. We got to talk a lot about, what's going to end up happening. We got to talk a little bit about possibilities for nicknames and what's going to happen. So there's a lot of inside stuff that we were going to release on that episode, which for you guys, that will be Thursday. We're going to let everybody listen to that Thursday. So I figured a bonus episode for those of you that are in the Wichita area, that'd be a good one to listen to. So, but it is
Yeah,
clean.
and if you're out of the Wichita area, just tune it the fuck out.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. Anyways, if you don't live here.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I think we are going to start like a crowdsourcing or maybe a GoFundMe account to try and get Bob a pair of properly fitting shorts. That man wore the tightest pair of short pants I've ever seen on a full-grown man I've ever seen in my life. But
you haven't seen Scotty and his Daisy Dukes.
These might have been tighter.
I don't know. Scotty washing the car in the summer. He's not even allowed by the school anymore.
I don't wear those unless it's Halloween. Come on.
No, you're not allowed within 300 feet of that school.
Anyways.
Any school.
But do check that episode out. Again, it is going to be, we will release both the YouTube episode and the podcast episode will come out Thursday. So that'll be available as a bonus episode for those of you that would like to listen to that. But anyways.
We still never said who he is.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
Paying
You
attention?
lost it, bro.
McFly.
Yeah.
McFly.
McFly.
Never said what he does there. He's the assistant
General manager.
Yeah, you never
Yeah,
said that.
Yeah, I did.
He went through that whole
No,
thing.
I have it in my headphones. Play it back.
Okay.
That's what people want to hear.
Yeah, but big thank you to him. Actually, he was really nice. We're going to be able also to go out and possibly see the stadium as they're building it, which I think I'm going to get in contact and maybe take some pictures and show it on our Facebook page to those that are interested. I think that'd be pretty darn cool.
I was blown away by I had no idea how much there is that goes into running. I mean, this is a minor league team. This is not the big league squad. This is a minor league team, and That man, it's amazing he had an hour to come kill with us.
Yeah.
He's got to be busy all the time.
He's the head of like everything. Department.
Yeah, right now. Especially because the New Orleans baby cakes are still in New Orleans. So a lot of the, faculty that they have is there still.
Yeah.
He's the sole motherfucker that's on the grounds as they're building that stadium, and that's just incredible that and it was so cool whenever he sat down, because I actually asked him, I said, what kind of time frame do you have? How much time do you have? And he's just like, man, I really don't have a whole lot going on. We'll do this and we'll see where it goes. And he ends up hanging out with us for an hour after the show, just shooting the shit and talking baseball, and it was a blast.
Like, dude, you should be asleep. There's no reason. You don't seem to have time to buy shorts. What the fuck?
Oh, God.
Could
give him a hard time.
He couldn't be a nicer guy.
Yeah, for
couldn't
sure.
Be a better guy. I have absolutely no doubt that team is going to be a success on every front because of him.
Yeah, what did you say earlier? He will die before that thing fails.
Yeah, before he lets anything fail. He's very hands-on, and he has it in his head he is going to make it a winner.
Yeah,
and
I
he's
agree.
super excited about it.
Yeah, he's pumped.
Yeah, I can't imagine being that excited to do anything. I hate doing this. And this is the most fun part of my week.
Well, that's at least good.
Yeah, I spend a lot of time with a gun in my mouth, guys. A lot of time.
But do look for that again Thursday on the YouTube page and on podcast apps everywhere. So, man, we really didn't have other than that. There was baseball this last week. We kind of have a couple of things to go over. There was some.
It is July.
Yeah,
makes sense.
This is basically the time of the year where there is nothing but baseball and off-season shit going on. So we've got some baseball to talk about. We also have WMBA news, and for those of you guys that are new listeners,
still around.
Yeah, it is still around.
That's the news.
And we also have our bold predictions for the NFL for the next 3 years, right? So 3 years.
ESPN had that article, 25.
They did, and so we came up with our own that we're going to go over. But yeah. So for those of you guys that are new listeners to the show, this is a show mainly about sports, but for what it's worth, it's mainly a comedy show that's centered around sports, where we like to take inappropriate jokes too far. And so we'll kick it off with the MLB, because right now we have a trade deadline that is drawing near.
A couple weeks.
So I've heard of a couple rumors. Obviously, there's already had some trades, which you were talking about Molinado and Montgomery.
Yeah, Montgomery.
Which that was a weird story.
Yeah, it was. Maldonado started the game at catcher for the Royals last night. 8th inning, he went like 1 for 2 with a walk, and 8th inning, Cam Gallagher, the backup catcher, pinch hits for him because Martin Maldonado had been traded. It's like, don't the front office guys watch the game? You couldn't wait 2 more innings? What the fuck?
No, apparently not.
It wasn't that pressing of a deal.
Right.
But, right in the middle of the game, which has got to be a weird thing. But, he's a good, solid defensive catcher, and he's going to be going to somebody who's got potential to make postseason.
Sure.
So I'm happy for him.
I think, though, that there's kind of like an unwritten rule that they kind of have to take him out of the game. The main reason why...
Oh, he's property of the other team now.
Correct. Yeah. And if something were to happen and he were to get hurt and stuff, and like you're selling damaged goods at that point.
Well, once they sign that paper, they don't own him, but they own the rights to his baseball playing abilities.
Correct.
And so he is no longer an employee of the Kansas City Royals.
Right.
He can't.
Right.
I'm pretty excited about it because now Joe Madden can't trot fucking Mike Montgomery out there on the bump anymore. That makes me super excited.
Yeah, they traded him for a pitcher who we originally drafted in 2008?
Yep, 2008.
And you get him back.
And we get him back. We traded him away for a far better pitcher at that time. I think he's kind of come into his own, but he's certainly not going to be any kind of a savior. I think they're going to utilize him as a starter. He's been a reliever most of his career, but they traded what had been their most consistent pitcher in Homer Bailey. and that is the worst name for a pitcher. Homer. That is a nickname for a home run. And you were a pitcher in Major League Baseball. Okay. Get the fuck off the team, even though you're doing well.
Right.
But no, with that trade, I'm like I said, he's gone. With Montgomery, that was the guy that actually got the last out of the 2016 series when the Cubs won it. He was on the hill for that last out.
Right.
So, and now if we can just trade off Brad Brock, that'd be great because Madden likes to bring him out there too and get shelled. And
right.
Just, God, that guy's. I hate Joe Madden.
Yeah, I know you do.
He can't manage a pen to save his fucking life.
No, he can't
at all.
I know.
Yeah, and
it brings me joy.
Throwing catchers out in left field. The rumor with this trade is it's one of two things. I think it's either Contreras is now on the injured list, which is the Cubs starting catcher, all-star catcher. He's on the injured list for 10 days. So either something more serious is going on there, and because they have Victor Caratini, who's been he's a pretty solid. He came up through the system. So I think either Caratini gets flipped when Contreras comes back, or Contreras' injury is a little more significant than what they were originally expecting.
I don't know.
It's going to be one of the two.
I don't know. I just hope you guys lose. That's all I care about. Because we suck. We struggle. I mean, when somebody asks me, like, okay, what do the Cardinals need? And I'm just like, everybody's fucking hurt right now. That's what it feels like. I mean, it's a struggle to watch a baseball game. But if you ask me, I need help in the pen. But that's every baseball team in America needs a good bullpen to come in from middle relief, long relief. I hate losing these games. We're getting shut out, and it's frustrating.
Oh, you don't like losing?
I fucking hate it. I hate it, and I have no control.
That's unusual. You do so much losing every other part of your life. It's weird.
Yeah, thanks, man.
But yeah, Joe Madden. Have you ever seen Enemy of the State with Will Smith and Gene Hackman? Gene Hackman looks like
it does. It really does look like Joe Madden.
Joe Madden.
That's hilarious.
I've always
I never
thought
made that connection.
But yeah, I'm hoping that it's the Caratini flip is what it actually is, and I hope that they flip maybe Caratini for like Will Smith from San Fran or something like that, and that's a nice bullpen arm to have.
Yeah,
former Royal as well.
Former Royal, yeah.
Right. Well, and
Will Smith with Gene Hackman. They're trying to recreate Enemy of the State.
There you go. Did you already say the Royals are shopping Whit Merrifield? Did we already talk about that?
No, we haven't.
No. So tell me a little bit about that. What's going on?
The Dodgers are showing interest in him. Whit Merrifield, at least at the All-Star break, had the most hits in the American League.
Which would suck.
It would, and every Royals fan, he's just one of those players that you'd love to love. You can't help but
love the guy.
He plays hard, and he doesn't try to do too much. He's a solid defensive guy, but he's that guy that when you need a hit, they call him two-hit Whit.
Yeah.
He's good for 2 a game usually. He's another one of those guys. He deserves to be on a better team.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, as much as I would hate to see him leave the Royals, I would be very happy for him personally.
Sure.
To get to go to a team that makes the postseason.
Yeah, I just don't want it to be the fucking Dodgers.
I don't necessarily either. They'll find a way to fuck it up. They always do. But I mean, he might actually be that missing piece to the puzzle that gets him there.
Sure.
Here's the deal with Merrifield too: is a lot of Royals fans would be upset that if he were to get traded, but you have to look at it this way: he's 31 years old. So
he kicked around in the minors for like 10 years.
Yeah, his window, it would be different if he was like 24, 25. Right. He's 31 years old. So by the time the Royals are ready to start competing again and back into that light, Merrifield's either going to be too old or gone anyway.
Right.
Now, they just signed him to an extension. He's extended through he's not a free agent until 2024. So it's not a rental. You have whoever trades for him has him for a few years.
Right.
So, like he said, I hope it's not the Dodgers. I don't want it to be the Dodgers. Yeah. I want him. I'd love to flip Schwarber for him straight up. I would do that in a heartbeat.
Oh my God, I can't believe you said that.
I would do that in a second.
I don't know that the Royals would.
I don't know if they would either. I don't know if they would either.
I think they're more shopping prospects.
Yeah.
They're trying to grow the team. A small market team, that's really the only way that they can grow is from within.
Yep.
Sure.
They've got to develop players, get them while they're cheap, because once they become superstars, they just can't hang on to them.
Yeah.
Well, with that many years of control as well, I think he should command a fucking haul. He should command a lot of really good prospects.
Yeah.
And if not, hang on to him.
Yeah, yes, because he didn't. I mean, that contract extension wasn't breaking the bank by any means. It was a pretty reasonable contract. Yeah. But yeah, time's going to catch up to him pretty soon, sooner than later, probably. He's probably got 2-3 solid, good team leading years left in him, and then he's going to steadily decline, most likely. Yeah. But if he does go to a winning team, he will be that guy. If they do trade him, he'll go to that team that says we need that one missing piece, and that's who's going to pick him up. And if he goes to a team that's a winner, couldn't be happier for him.
Sure.
But I would hate to lose him.
I'm sitting here going, God, I can't believe you would take him over Schwarber straight up. And I got to admit, I the only reason why I hate the Chicago Cubs is because you're an asshole. But like the players, I love Javi Baez. I love Rizzo. He would be so much fun to be on the same team with. He's just a fun guy. I mean, you've got a lot of, and I love Schwarber. Schwarber's fucking awesome. I just like him as a player and a person.
230 hitter.
I know, but I just like him as a guy. He's fun to watch. Like the guys that are on the Cubs team, I would have a beer with. I mean, I'd have a beer with anybody, but yeah.
You got a problem, Scotty.
Thanks, buddy. I always have beers with you. But I
have a problem,
it's
Scotty.
It's just weird.
Yeah,
you're the only person I've ever seen pour beer on honeycombs. That's just
what
kind of a fucked up. That's how you start the day.
Beer on honeycombs.
Beer on honeycombs with a whiskey chaser, and then it just gets worse from there.
Dunkin' Donuts and Sam Adams and yeah.
Well,
Yeah, why do you dunk them in the Sam Adams? That's just gross. Sam Adams is gross anyway. But
I think it's delicious.
By God, your mug holds 2 beers.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does.
Problem, Scotty.
No, problem solved,
in fact,
motherfucker.
We're not even actually
beers.
recording a podcast right here.
Nope.
We just wanted to talk to you.
Yeah, that's it.
Scotty, we love you like crazy. We've written letters.
Yeah, actually.
Dear Scotty.
Are you fucking serious?
Why do you have to be such a douchebag all the time? Even without the booze, you're intolerable. Go fuck yourself. Love always, Jeremy.
Oh my God.
Dear Scotty, I'll never forget the time you got drunk and tried to kiss me on the mouth. I never forgot it, and it's made me uncomfortable ever since. My wife doesn't even like when I come over to see you. Please get help. Derek.
Oh my God.
That is bad. I can barely watch that video regularly. That's,
oh, shit. Well, thanks. That means a lot, guys. All right. So I'm drinking water for the rest of my life.
yeah, it's not going to change.
No, it won't. Anyways, back to baseball. The one thing I wanted to touch on was the Madison Bumgarner. I hear the Giants are shopping him. And I don't know what you guys would think would be a good spot for him to land. Is he done? Is he washed up? Is he getting shelled every single game to the point to where he's not holding his value and they're just trying to shop him for the name?
I don't know.
Or
I think he's another one of those guys because he's a name, because he has experience and leadership in that rotation. A team that thinks he'd be the missing piece.
Yeah.
That something that'd bring him over the hump. But no, I think he's definitely on his way out 2-3 more years.
They thought that with Verlander.
Yeah. That's a good point. And he's still freaking smoking.
Other than start the All-Star game, what the fuck has he done?
Marry the woman of my dreams.
Yeah.
Joe Buck?
No.
He's fucking that shit.
Oh, is he?
He's fucking that shit. Isn't it Upton?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Upton.
Yeah, she's... Whew, good Lord.
Yeah, I would have took her last name.
Well, that's a good pull.
That's right.
That is a good pull.
That is.
Wait a minute, BJ Upton.
No, it's Justin.
Oh.
There you go.
I can't tell them apart.
But since we had our last show, there actually was a really cool thing that happened. An absolutely awful, tragic thing that happened with Tyler Skaggs passing away, which they still have not released how that happened. I think it's one of two things. I think it's either a really, really rare thing that happened with like his heart or something like that and he passed away, or the most likely of things is probably some kind of overdose, unfortunately. But I'm hoping it's not. I have a lot of respect for this guy, but I have a feeling the reason why they're not releasing why he passed away was probably because it's probably something negative.
Yeah.
I mean, just being realistic about it. But the very first game that they played after he passed away, they had a huge ordeal for him, a memorial and stuff like that out, and I think it was right center field. And every single player played like the game of their fucking life, it felt like. They smoked, absolutely smoked. I can't remember who they
Well,
even
it's not
played.
fair because they actually had real angels in the outfield.
That's true.
That's not
They had
fair.
an angel in the outfield.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, Tony Danza.
Tony Danza
Yeah.
pitched for him. Mel Clark.
Mel Clark, that's right. That is right. And Danny Glover.
Yeah.
I remember that movie very well. But it really was. It was a very, very awesome thing to watch. It was a combined no-hitter. What was it? They scored. I can't remember. I want to say the score was like 7-0 at one point, and then they scored another 5. I thought it was like 13-0, if I remember right. I can't remember exactly the score. But a combined no-hitter. The combined hits was his birthday, which was 7/13. There was so many weird
Yeah, but you can
things.
do that out of any.
I know.
Baseball's a
They
numbers
made it
game. You find
huge.
numbers
You
everywhere.
can make 9/11 out of the price of 6 Big Macs.
Exactly.
I mean, it's like, oh, wait a minute, McDonald's did this. It was an inside job.
Right.
Like, it doesn't.
I get it.
Here's the
they-
thing. Even a combined no-no is still a very rare and difficult
Yes.
thing to do. And if they were legit trying to do that, they couldn't have done it.
No.
That was the fact that they were able to do that on the night that they honored him was really just a
Yeah.
very emotional and
It was.
almost freakish.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, his mom threw out the first pitch. Did you see that?
Yeah, she started the game.
Pretty much. And she threw a fucking perfect strike. It even was kind of a little bender on there. Like it had a little bit of a curve to it and sank right into the strike zone. It was cool to watch. And everybody wore the number 45 after the win. They all put the 45 number on the pitchers, their jerseys on the pitchers.
That was in honor of Donald Trump.
No, it wasn't. But it was a really, really cool thing to watch, and I wanted to kind of give them a little bit of credit on the very small platform that I have and say that was fucking cool. I'm not an Angels fan, but that was really, really fucking cool.
I don't dislike the Angels.
I don't dislike them either. They're kind of the farm system for the St. Louis Cardinals. That's kind of where we get a lot of our players, and that's where we trade them away.
Players.
That's where we send our shit players. That's where, Albert Pujols is now soaking up all of that cap space.
That's the only one I can think of.
Or not cap space, but all the money.
Who else?
We got rid of David Eckstein, was actually one of my favorite baseball players, and we thought he was done, and he ends up going off and winning a World Series with the Angels. And I think while he was there, he was the MVP of the World Series, I think, with the Cardinals, and he went to
Jared Weaver. Wasn't he a Cardinal at one point?
No.
No. David Freese was also traded to the
I remember
Angels.
him.
He was a Blue Jay.
We traded him initially first to the Angels. And then he's with maybe the White Sox or something like that. I can't remember.
Who cares?
Who cares? But he basically got us to Game 7 of the World Series against the Rangers. So, but that's really we apparently have a really good relationship with the Angels. We get a lot of players from them, and we trade a lot of players to them.
You guys should get that Trout guy. I hear he's up and coming.
Yeah. I would not argue with that.
What is it with the Angels and having people with the name Fish? You had Tim Salmon, Mike Trout. I'm ready for fucking Leroy Walleye to come up from the minors.
Yeah.
Fucking
That
tremendous.
sounds like another one of those goofy ass pitcher names, like Raleigh Fingers.
Yeah.
Like something.
Raleigh
walleye.
Fingers is a sex move. You got to Urban Dictionary that. They gave her the old Raleigh Fingers. 2 in the pink, 4 in the mustache.
Yeah, that's where you actually you diddle the front parts with the mustache,
Yeah.
and then being a pitcher, he fisted her
Yeah.
with the other. Got her right in on the hands.
Yeah. And gave her the old Bucky dent right between the legs. Yeah.
Oh shit! All right.
That was Buckner. Bill Buckner,
Bill
right
Buckner.
between the legs.
There you go.
Bucky fucking Dent.
Bucky
was a
Dent was
Yankee.
yeah.
He hit the home run.
He hit the home run.
Anyway.
Bill Buckner.
So,
Way to
anyway,
fuck up
what
a
if
bit, Derek.
What if they were to say, "Hey, I didn't even know that he said who the fuck Bob was." So,
oh yeah, there you go. You're missing.
did we ever say who he was?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Assistant GM for the Wichita Baseball 2020.
Oh,
Anyways,
that's a weird name for a team.
yeah,
They got good vision.
yeah. We'll see. There's some inside
They're
stuff.
mad dogs.
There's some inside stuff.
And they're running for office.
What if being 2020, maybe they're going to be the Mad Dogs?
Why?
Mad Dog 2020.
Okay, whatever.
Right over the head.
Yeah,
You drink too much, Scott.
thanks. God damn. The next thing for the MLB I want to talk about is the NL MVP race, so the National League MVP race, which I've got statistics actually pulled up here, because it's definitely within. It's between two guys, and it's gonna probably stay between two guys: Cody Bellinger and Christian Yelich. What do you guys think as far as both of these guys? I have no problem with these two being the, who it's gonna be. I think these are the two best players in the National League.
Have they ever had
Trout-
co-MVPs?
Huh?
Have they ever had co-MVPs in Major Leagues?
I don't think so. No, because Mike Trout's going to win it for the American League. I think that's pretty much over, done with. I don't have any doubt.
Unless Jeremy gets called up to the Royals.
Yep, that's true. That's true, and they do need that middle infield spot.
They do, especially if they trade Whit Merrifield.
Exactly.
They're going to need somebody at second base.
So, what do you think between the players, Christian Yelich or Cody Bellinger? I'm on the Bellinger bandwagon right now.
But he's a Dodger.
I can't.
I guess Yelich is in your division, so
That's true, and I don't mind Yelich. I think Christian Yelich is
I
awesome.
actually really like Christian Yelich.
I do too. The only reason why I don't like Yelich is because he kills the Cardinals single-handedly. And so I kind of have some animosity to that. But
Didn't he have like 6 or 7 home runs in a 3-game
yeah,
series?
yeah,
against them earlier
he
this year?
fucking shelled us bad. But, that's the Cardinals. That's the way it's been this year.
What are we looking at? Batting average.
Bellinger, batting average for 2019 is 341. Christian Yelich is 332.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, home runs. Bellinger's at 33 home runs, and Yelich is at 32 home runs. RBIs 75 for Bellinger and 68 for Yelich. The only stolen bases. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Stolen bases. Bellinger only has 8, and Yelich has 22. So
I think
That is fucking obscene for both of them. To be at 32 and 33 home runs at the halfway point of the season.
it's a little bit over halfway.
What are we at? What game are we on?
I know. Well,
There's 69 games left for the Cubs.
That's about right, because the All-Star game is always just a little bit more than halfway over.
Sometimes it's a little bit before. It has been.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But I think you got to look at team records. And the Dodgers right now have the best record in baseball. And the Brewers are hovering just over 500. So
Yeah.
I think you have to look at that as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't think it's his fault. I don't think it's Yelich's fault.
It's not Yelich's fault, but I think that plays into it.
And I guess it's I've always had a problem with the way that they judge MVPs. A lot of times it's not necessarily the best player, it's the most valuable player.
Sure.
Who would their team be? How much worse off would their team be
What's the
without
WAR?
them?
What is the WAR?
Let's see.
5.3 for
Which,
Yelich
by the way, I hate stats like this.
7.0.
for Bellinger. There you go. That's wins above replacement.
And I hate sabermetrics, but that's got to
Explain that, because some people that listen to us don't know that stat. What does wins above replacement mean?
It basically means
Whenever
that
he's in the game,
they if he didn't play and they had just the average player,
Right.
they would lose. With him, they'd win 7 more games. Without him, they would lose 7 more games.
Right. They are 7. They've won 7 more games than they would have had an average first baseman been playing for them.
Yes.
But let me ask you guys this. Okay, WAR. What is it good for?
Absolutely nothing.
Say it again. WAR. What is it good for?
absolutely nothing.
All right.
I will say this to answer your question from earlier, Jeremy. Actually, there have been co-MVPs one time.
Has there?
Yes.
I'm going to say in the 60s.
Nope. 1979.
Damn it.
One of them played for the Cardinals. It was Keith
Lou Brock?
Hernandez and Willie Stargell.
Really?
Keith Hernandez played in 79. Wow.
Yeah, they said
I didn't think
there was not a clear-cut favorite. Hernandez had the numbers, leading the league with a .344 batting average, 42 doubles, 116 runs, and 210 hits. Stargell actually only hit .281 with 32 home runs. However, with only 126 games, his candidacy rested primarily on his worth to the We Are Family Pirates. He was the guy on the Pirates.
Wow.
So,
That's kind of interesting.
Was that the strike shortened season?
no, I don't believe so.
Okay.
I was going to say, because we're already a little bit over halfway through, and the number of home runs that both those guys had, these guys are basically there, and it's a little bit over
It's the
halfway.
juice ball era, Scotty.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know if I buy that, but beside the point. But while we're on this particular topic, my question, which we kind of vaguely started talking about, but was, what's your World Series prediction at this point?
They're gonna have one.
Duh.
Yeah, I think.
No
I think
shit,
I think it's a lock.
Probably this fall.
Yeah.
October?
Right around October area?
Yeah,
Late October should
maybe
be.
early November.
Yeah, okay. Spectacular. But what teams, morons?
Oh, I think one from the AL and one from the NL.
Oh, definitely.
I think that's the way you got to do it. You got to kind of mix it up a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, you don't want to just keep it all from one league.
Yeah, then the other one's gonna protest. We didn't get a chance. Yeah, I think one from
what
each.
I got to deal with on a regular basis is you two
Once a
fuckheads.
week.
Yeah.
Daily.
Yeah.
We only talk to you on Tuesdays.
Have a drink, deal with it.
That's true. Yeah. I will, motherfucker. Okay, but seriously, if you were to pick two teams to go to the World Series, one from the AL, one from the NL, this is how I have to do this, is so I can be so goddamn specific that's hard. Which teams would you have in the World Series
Dodgers and Astros.
right now? Mm-hmm. What about you?
Yeah, probably. I mean, Yankees maybe.
That's who I have. Unfortunately, because I don't want either team in there.
I don't either. I don't mind the Astros as much, and they built their team up the right way.
Yeah.
But the Dodgers are due to be in there. I don't really
No, they're
know.
not. Fuck them.
I don't really know who in the National League is going to compete with them. Braves maybe. How are the Braves doing this year?
Braves are pretty decent.
They're all right. They're not too
That's it?
shabby. Yeah, they're all right.
All right.
They're winning the division.
Right.
Yeah.
But we've also seen once we get to the postseason, it's a whole different deal.
Mm-hmm.
The Seattle Mariners set the record for wins, and then were bounced the first round years ago.
Mm-hmm. And see, I'm not even gonna lie. I think my Cardinals are probably not even gonna make the playoffs. The main reason why I say that is because Ozuna is gonna be hurt. You've got a lot of pitchers that just didn't come out and perform. I just don't think they're going to be. So now, granted, I'm still one of those people. I'm going to root for the division. It sucks.
Well, you're a big Brewers fan anyway.
I really like the Brewers.
Yeah.
I really do.
You do. You like to drink.
Thanks, you asshole.
And they're due. I mean, they really haven't done any. They haven't done much winning in the last 25 years or so.
Right.
They made the postseason last year. Were they the longest drought making the postseason?
Oh, I don't think so. But
It might be the Padres.
Yeah, that sounds a little bit more right. Okay. Which is kind of crazy because I keep on thinking of Tony Gwynn, but realistically, I think Tony Gwynn was.
Oh no, I guess the Ned Yost years with Milwaukee, they were getting close to postseason play. They weren't really a threat to win at all. But
Sure.
They got the postseason with Sabathia.
CC.
He went. Yeah, he pitched like every third game down the stretch, and they rode him hard that year before he went to the Yankees. They traded for him from Cleveland.
He's still in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
As a starter
Yeah.
for the Yankees.
Right.
I think he's having an okay year this year
Not
too.
doing too bad.
Yeah.
So, but I unfortunately I think I've got, as of right now, and I hope to change. I've got my underdog picks too, and that's what I'm hoping actually happens because I like seeing new blood in the World Series. It's just something that I would much rather watch than watching the two huge organizations that are just known for World Series, which is the Yankees. They have by far the most.
27, I think.
Yeah, and then you've got the Dodgers, which is a huge market, just like the Yankees are, and I think they're up there too.
They've been in the last two.
Yeah, and they've lost it, and I kind of hope, but there's a little bit of kind of, I don't know, there's a little bit of good feelings there because if the Dodgers win the World Series, Machado gets to give that fan his fucking contract.
Yeah, that won't happen.
See?
I'm curious if anything would come of that.
It's on video. That's a legal binding. That's legally binding.
He didn't say he'd bet it, though. The other guy didn't go, all right, you're on.
Well, and he just said he'd give him the contract. He didn't say he'd give him the money.
True. Just the contract.
There you go.
There you go.
There's the contract.
There's your way out.
That's going to be a lot like that contract that took Babe Ruth to the Yankees from the Red Sox, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The one that signed Manny Machado for a ridiculous amount of money.
Ridiculous amount of money. So stupid.
See, he's third base or shortstop? He's third baseman.
Third baseman.
Yeah.
God, he's an asshole.
He's a decent third baseman.
He's a good player.
He's pretty good third base. He's a really good
Yeah,
third
he's a
baseman.
good player. He's just a prick.
Yeah.
Him and Bryce Harper should just stop. I just don't like either of them.
I don't hate Machado. I don't like Harper, but I don't hate Machado.
I don't
at all.
like Machado because he reminds me a lot of Grayson Allen. He's just a kind of a prick, and he does stuff and then acts like, oh, I didn't do anything. And he slides in with the spikes up trying to hurt people. He does stupid shit. Bryce Harper's just a prick anyways. He plays the game hard and he goes balls out. But he's a high-maintenance piece of shit, and that's why I don't like him either.
Got good hair.
Does have excellent hair. If I could only
he's
have
the
his
Uncle
hair.
Jesse of the Phillies.
That's no shit.
Not Dukes of Hazzard, Uncle Jesse.
No,
Full House.
Full House.
Jesse and the Rippers.
Yes, that's
Jesse.
right.
I mean, Denver Pyle had a nice head of hair, but, John Stamos.
I'm trying to think of that fucking song that he sang. I can't remember what it was.
I don't know.
Who?
John Stamos in Full House. There was like that one song.
Forever.
For Michelle?
Forever.
Forever. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, this is. You shouldn't sing that again.
Oh, shut up.
So that's the booze right there.
That's how long you should
Karaoke.
That's how long you should go before you sing that song again. Forever.
Okay. All right. Moving on. That was baseball for us. Now we get to move on to the really interesting sport.
We should get Stamos on the show.
Yeah, he'd probably be a good one. I think we can make that happen. He's not doing anything else.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, have you guys ever heard, by the way, I was listening to a different podcast, sorry.
No, that's fine.
I'm a traitor. Where somebody was speaking of Full House, Bob Saget, who is a stand-up comedian, which a lot of people don't realize because of Full House, a fucking filthy.
Yeah, he is
comedian.
a filthy stand-up
And he was that way before he got Full House.
Oh,
yes. Yes.
But they were talking about a joke that just fucking made me bust out laughing. But it's one of those jokes that makes everybody laugh and then makes the audience hate him. And he said it was the joke where he says, I got a picture of my mom's face tattooed on my ass because it's the only way I can get my dad to quit butt fucking me.
God.
And
That's horrible.
it's like everybody in the comedy club laughs their ass off, and then they're like, fuck this guy. He made me laugh at that. That's horrible.
But he was always known for that. Like even on the set
yes.
of Full House, like he had inappropriate fucking jokes and stuff that made people uncomfortable because they were a bunch of pansy sissy bitches.
And
but
then he did a really shitty stand-up special after Full
After
House
that,
because
yeah.
he wanted
It
to
was
show
terrible.
everybody.
It was
It
awful.
was just him cussing
The
and
whole
saying
time.
filthy shit.
Yeah,
And
like, don't fuck animals, Tom.
it's
Yeah,
like our
that's-
show.
No.
No,
we
okay.
try and be clever. He wasn't even trying to be clever. He was just saying
Yeah.
awful things.
But anyways, we get to go on to a very, very important sport to this show.
Curling.
No, just about as close. The WNBA. We got some news from the WNBA that Derek brought to the table before
Big
the
fan.
show.
Big fan here.
Sure.
I can
The only one, actually.
yeah, pretty
only
much.
fan.
You're the only one. Mm-hmm. Raquina, I can't even pronounce her. That's how bad it is. I can't even fucking pronounce his.
I believe it's
chick's name.
Rakina.
I bet you it's Raquina Williams. Raquina or Raquina, one of
Yeah.
the two. But apparently she got in some trouble. What was she doing there, Derek?
That's
The old
there's-
domestic violence.
With her girlfriend.
So she's ready for the NFL.
Yeah, that's exactly
she
right.
She is ready to go.
Right.
The real news here is that there's still a WNBA.
That's
None of us actually thought that was still a thing.
I remember when who was the tall chick from Baylor that was really, really good?
Brittany Griner.
Brittany Griner. I remember when she went to the WNBA.
I remember when she came out as a lesbian. It's like, yeah, no shit.
we know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your dick is
known.
bigger than mine, lady.
Exactly.
What the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah,
I get it.
that was my favorite person to play with on WNBA 2K15. I always got Brittany Griner.
Yeah.
Well, what'd she get? She got like a week suspension without pay.
10 games.
10
10
games.
games.
Look
So
at
she's
that.
going to be out like $175.
Yeah. Yeah. Aggressive scissoring.
That's fucking awful.
She tried fisting her.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Wrong sport. Wrong sport.
Yeah.
That's actually apparent. I think she hit her girlfriend is what she did.
That's what, yeah.
Probably.
She actually punched her girlfriend, which...
Because if I know girlfriends, they nag. And, yeah, she's learning that the hard way.
I don't know if I quite get that one, because like when a dude and a dude square off,
Yeah.
that's a fight.
That is a fight.
You know what I mean? I don't know how that's, I mean, just because you're fucking, that's just a fight. Now, I get when a dude smacks a woman, that's bullshit.
That's
you
bullshit.
don't do that.
You don't do that.
But a dude smacking it, put him up.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And then
that's
we'll
right.
have a beer after. Like,
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's what it's supposed to be.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Other
So
times it's like, hey, get your 13 buddies off me.
I don't want to encourage Scotty to drink anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Damn. Stop.
That's what we're trying to tell you.
Yes.
Okay, fine. I'll stop.
And that's probably what her girlfriend was telling her.
Yeah,
God
probably.
damn, stop.
No, but seriously, what do you call that when you got two chicks fighting?
A cat fight.
Yeah, that is what it is. It's a
Yeah.
cat fight, and then they can't have a beer afterwards. There's no way in hell.
No, I think that's now they're her ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I would hope so.
Probably. And I bet you all the friends went with the girlfriend.
Probably.
And they're talking about Rakina behind her back.
Yeah.
But
Her girlfriend was probably like, I don't know, an associate at like Sears or something, and still makes more money than Rakina Williams.
Probably. And probably gets more publicity, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And more
This
pussy.
is what they have to do in the WNBA. And God,
just a
see,
joke.
here's the thing is, and I don't mean to make light of that, because they do work just as hard. They do try just as much. But at the end of the day, they don't put out a product that people want to buy.
that's right.
People want slam dunks. People want fast-paced action. If you wanted to see good fundamentals,
Yeah. That's that's true.
That's where to go. If you were a high school coach wanting to teach kids how
That's
to
a
play,
good point.
have them watch college girls or
the
professional
Spurs.
girls or the Spurs, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
But if you notice, nobody goes to the Globetrotter games to see layups.
That's right. They go to see dunks from like off of somebody's shoulders.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the kind of shit that ultimately sells tickets and
Right.
sells jerseys and gets TV coverage.
Yeah. So
And it's not fair, but life ain't fair.
yeah, that's true.
Ask Rakina's girlfriend.
Right. And, yeah. So, but that's the only WNBA news I got.
Probably for the year.
Yeah.
That's all you got?
likely. That's it.
Really?
Stay
That's
tuned
it.
next year, folks.
I don't even know. I don't even know what.
it's
I don't even
still
know what
early
team
in the
this dick plays
season.
on.
It's still real early in the season.
Yeah. No. I can't stand it.
I think we ought to do a WNBA playoff breakdown once it comes around.
Oh, fuck.
I just wish I
would
knew
be
when it
awful.
was.
That would be awful.
There's
so awful.
There's 8 teams in the league. Don't they all get into the playoffs?
Probably. Save themselves some money. Make it a four-team playoff.
It's like
By-
the half of the NBA.
It's worse than that. It's way
Yeah, there's
worse
no
than
chance any of them are getting called up.
Exactly.
I'd rather watch the Big Three than the WNBA. And I think the Big Three is terrible.
I actually liked watching Big Three. I
What's
did.
the big 3?
That was Ice Cube's league, 3-on-3.
They still have it. It's still going on, and the main reason why is because I wanted to see
Ice
more.
Cube has a lot of money.
That's true, but I wanted to watch it because I wanted to see a lot of like the Jason Williams whenever he played, and then he got hurt like the very first game. I was so bummed out. But there's a lot of like players. Like, do you remember Baby Shaq?
Yeah.
He is on one of the Big Three teams. And it was just amazing because he went to LSU. He was supposed to be the next Shaquille O'Neal. He got drafted. I think he went to the Celtics.
Was it Glenn Davis? Yeah.
Big
Baby Davis.
Big Baby Davis, yeah.
Glenn Davis.
And or Baby Shaq Davis is what it was.
God.
And
Okay, we're talking about Ice Cube, the guy who said "fuck the police" and starred in "Are We There Yet?" That guy.
Yeah.
that guy, that's the same dude.
All right.
But yeah, those players, the guys that they just had so much hype coming out of college, and then just fucking flatlined whenever they were in the league, and then that's basically what Big Three was.
You notice he said "fuck the police" and then played a cop and ride along too.
Yeah.
How does that work?
I don't know.
I just realized that.
That's a good point.
Huh?
Well, he said "fuck the police."
Yeah, that's still the same thing.
Yeah, right. But Derek misquoted.
Okay, whatever.
Sorry.
Get it right.
All right.
Quote me NWA, which stands for Scotty.
Come on, express yourself.
Yeah, you're drunk enough. You're drunk enough. Say it. You got my permission.
No, I'm good. Totally good. Okay. All right. So moving on. And this is kind of where I know we're all huge baseball fans, but we all know each other from football. I'm getting excited because fantasy football is coming right around the corner. But
actually, I know you because your dad's like, "Hey, you should meet my stepson. He doesn't have any friends." And I'm like, "All right, how much? $50. I'll hang out with him."
Yeah,
can I
good.
fuck his sister? Of course I can.
I already did.
For those of you not watching YouTube, you missed a middle finger to Derek. Anyways, NFL bold predictions for 3. Yeah, I know. 3 years. We sat down. We discussed. There is an article that's going around with on ESPN for 3 bold predictions.
Oh, there's 25 on ESPN.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We're going to do 3 each.
You want me to read through some of these 25?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. Some of the ones they have here. Number 1, they think Patrick Mahomes will be the first $40 million a year quarterback.
I buy that.
I think he can fetch that. I don't know that he's got the fucking, I don't know, the stones to do that. I think he understands the importance of having a team
Offensive
around
line,
him.
yeah.
Yeah. Number 2, Kirk Cousins will sign an extension with the Vikings.
I actually do agree with that.
I don't know if he will or not.
I do.
I don't know if the Vikings will want to do that.
After last season, probably not. After this season, I think so.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't keep up on Kirk Cousins.
Number 3, the Patriots will win at least one more Super Bowl. I agree with that.
God damn it! As long
This
as
is over
as long as
how
Tom
long?
Brady,
3 years.
3 years,
3 years?
3 years prediction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, and then don't even fucking kid yourself. Gronk's coming back.
Number
Of course
4,
he is.
I think is a definite. Ezekiel Elliott will hold out of training camp over his contract.
I think he's already said he's
Yeah,
going
they
to.
say he's already
I think
doing
that's
it.
a definite. Number 5, Eli Manning will play for a different team. That's pretty definite. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know that
Either
he'll get
that,
signed by anybody.
I don't know. I don't think anybody.
It might be in the XFL.
Yeah,
He'd at least be a backup.
yeah. If he wants to still, go to practice and get paid, I guess that's probably he ain't gonna start.
Number 6, as far as the Giants go, at least 3 different QBs will start for them in the next 3 years. I can see that happening.
Motherfucker.
Certainly,
That's one- actually,
especially
maybe
if there's an injury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7, Kyler Murray will lead the Cardinals to at least one division title.
That's a possibility, and the only reason why I say that is because of if he actually has a decent enough season, he's got Larry Fitzgerald, which is at the end of his career. He's not doing as well, but he does have David Johnson in the backfield. If they can get a couple more tools for him to throw to,
They've got Christian Kirk too.
yeah. But just it's a possibility. I'm not saying I'm going all the way with it, but I think they'll actually be relevant. We'll put it that way.
I don't know about division. Who's in their division?
As the Rams are in that one. It's the NFC West.
Yeah, it is.
So
Niners,
Rams, Cardinals, and
Is it? No, it's not Tennessee, is it?
Seattle.
Seattle.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, that's right.
Yeah, I don't think they will with that division.
I don't either. I think they'll be relevant. I think they may make the
Wild
playoffs
card.
and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. But I don't think Kyler's good, but
I think 9 and
we
7.
haven't seen how good or
Correct.
bad he is yet. We
Correct.
don't really know what we've got.
I agree.
I think 9 and 7 maybe here and then within the next 3 years could win that division too, though.
Sure, I just
7
don't
and
think
9 won at once.
I just don't
Yeah.
think the Cardinals will do it. I just don't.
Number 8, they think that there won't be an NFL stoppage, a work stoppage, like a strike or anything like that.
Who cares?
9, the next LA team to reach the Super Bowl will be the Chargers. I agree with that.
Yeah, they're not far off from it now. I don't know how many good years Rivers has left.
But they've got Melvin,
Especially with
they've
all
got
the
Melvin
racial-
Gordon.
Melvin Gordon.
The racial slurs, though. Remember, Phillip Rivers drops a lot of N-bombs.
Number 10, Le'Veon Bell will change teams again.
100% agree with that.
Yep.
Where did he wind up going?
Jets. He will be out of there by the end of next season,
Yeah.
if at all possible.
Yeah, he thought he was getting the shit beat out of him in Pittsburgh.
You just
He's
wait.
really
Wait.
going to get the shit kicked out of him.
Have fun in New York, buddy.
Yeah.
This one I think's a little bold. Odell Beckham Jr. will lead the NFL in receiving yards and touchdown catches.
Motherfucker, I didn't even see that. That was actually one of mine. I agree with it.
I don't think I do.
No.
I don't think it's going to be this year. I think it will be within 3 years, though. I think him and Baker Mayfield are going to fucking set it on fire.
They're going to certainly need to get another receiver
They need
to
a
take
slot.
the pressure off of it.
They need a slot guy.
I think Baker Mayfield needs to show me more. And I mean,
sure.
there's a lot of guys that come out and do great for 1 year and then fall off.
If he
I
comes
agree.
out half-cocked this year, it could go real bad for him. In a
I
hurry.
agree. I just don't see him being stupid like Manziel. I think he'll be as smart as possible. I'm not sitting here saying that they are going to fucking win the Super Bowl or anything.
I've got him
like that.
picked to win the division next year.
I do too. I have him picked to win the division too. And I'm not saying he's going to be perfect, Baker Mayfield. I'm not saying he's going to be perfect, but he's got OBJ and he's going to light him up.
He's got a lot of guys to spread it around to, though. He's got
That's
Jarvis
true.
Landry. He's
I
going to have
know.
Kareem Hunt out of the backfield. He's got Njoku at tight end.
He's got a rookie slot guy that he has as well. That's also an LSU grad. That basically Landry, the new rookie, which I don't know his name, and OBJ, all LSU guys. They didn't all play together, I don't think, but those Jarvis and OBJ did. I'm really, really, really. I really expect a lot out of this year's Browns. See where it's going to go, but I'm even pushing it to the year 2. That's where I think that this is going to come true.
All right. 12. I don't think this is going to happen, but it says the Las Vegas Raiders will make at least one playoff appearance.
They can fuck right off on that.
I don't think that's going to happen at all.
That means that they would have to be better than Kansas City
And San
San
Diego.
Diego.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen.
and
mean, I guess you
whoever
could
else
get
in the
3
AFC West also. It ain't going to be the East,
Yeah,
or AFC South.
right.
South.
But and then I'm sorry, but Denver's was bad last year. But I still don't think that the Raiders will end up being better than Denver.
Well, there's
And
certain.
this is 3 years, keep in mind. But
In
I
3
still,
years,
I
do
don't.
not think the Raiders will be better than Denver.
All right,
I'm just saying. And I have one of my bold predictions that has not been taken yet.
calm down.
Shut up.
Number 13, the Steelers will win more AFC North titles than the Browns in the next 3 years. I don't see that either.
No, I see the. You said the Steelers?
Yeah,
the Steelers.
will win more
Yeah.
than the Browns.
I see them doing a lot of rebuilding over the next 5.
I agree. They lost AB and then they lost Le'Veon Bell. Now they got Connor,
And they've lost the locker room for what it's worth.
Sure.
Yeah.
but I see Ben Roethlisberger getting brittle. Just saying, throwing it out there.
He's old. I mean,
Yeah.
he's old.
I mean, the year before last, he was talking about how he didn't think he didn't have it anymore. So
Right.
Number 14, you'll continue to hear talk about an 18-game season, but you may continue to ignore it. We hear that every year.
Yeah.
15, Andrew Luck will win an MVP.
Yeah.
He needs another big receiver.
I don't think that's quite as bold of a prediction. I can see that happening in 3 years. No way. I'd say that's 50-50.
He second in the AFC in touchdown, or maybe in the whole league in touchdown passes last year.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a number 1 overall pick for a reason.
He's got T.Y., but T.Y. usually gets hurt every year.
Yeah.
16, Christian McCaffrey will lead the league in yards from scrimmage.
I don't think so.
That is bold.
That's bold. I don't think so.
Because you have Barkley, and then you also have Kamara. So I don't know, but who the hell did the Panthers have to throw the ball to? Funchess?
Yeah, I guess.
Funchess gone? Funchess at least gone.
I'm pretty sure Funchess is gone.
C.J.
Yeah.
Anderson's gone.
But they still have Olsen, I think.
That's it. And Olsen gets hurt every year
he does.
now.
So I don't agree with that.
Again, I think that's one of those 50-50s. Mm-hmm. 17, the minimum spending floor will go up in the next CBA. Big deal. We'll start to see more fully guaranteed veteran contracts. 19, which is possible, I think, as well. Josh Rosen will change teams again out of Miami.
Maybe.
He's still young enough that Miami might try to build the franchise around him.
They might.
Yeah, but if they're if they end up getting the number 1 pick, that Tua tag of that guy,
Another Oklahoma quarterback.
yeah, they're saying that's where he's going 1 overall, and if the Dolphins end up with the 1 pick,
Actually, I think Tua may be in Alabama.
I think he is Alabama.
I mixed those two up because
Pretty sure he's Alabama.
Yeah, I think you're right.
number 20, I like this one.
Okay.
The Packers won't win a division title in the next 3 years.
I actually think that's true.
Me too.
I mean,
Hashtag me too.
I don't hate the Packers as much as you do. I don't love them or like them, but I think that's a very true statement with what they've lost, how much they have to pay Aaron Rodgers, and who he has to throw to. I
mean, the Bears stock, I think, is on the rise.
It is.
I think Minnesota is gonna still be good. Yeah, I don't know that they will.
Mm-hmm.
Number 21, another one of the ones in the CBA, but they say they think the marijuana policy will change.
Which I don't think that's going to happen. I just don't.
I think
it
might.
should. I'm not saying. Now, granted, listen to what I say. I think it should, but I don't think it's going to go through. I don't
know with it getting legalized in so many states.
But it's not nationally, and that's where I see the problem.
Yeah,
and
maybe.
It's a private company that can do whatever the hell they want to do.
Oh, sure, they can.
They can tell them not to, even if it's legal everywhere. They can literally do that.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot of dreadlocks in that league. They may hold out and try and force their hand on that.
Sure.
Maybe that's your work stoppage.
I hope, for the love of God, I hope
marijuana
they can.
usually leads to work stoppage anyway.
Yeah.
I just hope they call it the Ricky Williams law.
That's exactly what I was going to say, you shithead.
He had dreadlocks.
Yeah.
Well,
but
I like how he said he got high and forgot he was supposed to take
drug tests. Like, you fucking idiot. But I hope they do. I hope they legalize it and make it, and who gives a fuck? Moving on.
22, Julio Jones will be the first $20 million a year wide receiver, but not the last.
I agree. I agree that there's going to be a $20 million receiver. I don't think it's going to be him.
I think his stock has fallen.
I agree.
I think
it's fallen too. I think he's going to have a good year this year, but that much, that's too high.
Yeah.
Right now, it's OBJ is the highest paid wideout at 18 mil.
Okay.
So Jones still has 2 years left on his deal. I don't know.
I don't see it.
And then number 23, Carson Wentz and the Eagles will win at least one division title.
Division title.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty weak division.
It is.
So I could see that happening.
I could see it happening 50-50.
For what it's worth, the Madden 2020 released their ratings. Guess who the number one team out of everybody in the NFL is?
The Detroit Pistons.
The fucking Eagles. And I can't believe it. That's bullshit.
Yeah, I guess I can say
Win the
that's
division,
$60.
Yeah. Division, sure. I have no problem with that. That's because your division is weak. I'm sorry. You got Dallas, Washington.
The Giants.
Yeah, Dallas.
Washington doesn't have a quarterback.
Washington does have a
Haskins.
quarterback. They have
got
Haskins now. They picked up Haskins, but he's a rookie, so he's probably not going to have an excellent year. He might.
Right.
I'm more excited to watch Haskins than I am to watch fucking Kyler Murray.
I am too. And then you got the Giants, which is going to be a fucking joke.
That's going to be a shit show.
That's going to be a shit show this year.
24, Nick Foles, our boy.
Yeah, buddy.
Will win at least one division title with the Jaguars.
Agreed.
I hope so, and I agree.
I agree with that too. And
they got a really strong defense. I know it didn't show up that well last year, but
it'll be
they
back.
had to be on the field a lot last year.
They sure did.
And number 25 on the ESPN site here. The new replay rules will be a big, stupid mess and will create more big, stupid messes.
I can see where it can lead to.
Yeah.
And this is why I say it, because every referee kind of sets a tone of what is and is not pass interference. There are games where any contact at all, they'll throw a flag. And there are games when they let them do a lot of hand play, they let them get physical. And then all of a sudden it's going to come down to the last 2 minutes, and it's going to come down to a decision where guys have been used to how the game's been called the whole time. And then the last 2 minutes, it's going to come down to a decision of somebody who has not been involved thus far.
Yep.
That's the only thing I don't like about it. And they're going to be able to sit there and watch it in super slow motion.
Mm-hmm.
And, are they going to have to review that on every passing
fucking play? They will. He touched his shoestring. That's passing
I
interference.
think it's going to be on blatant shit, and then it's going to be just one of those Hail Mary fucking let's just challenge it to challenge it, which they do on other plays too.
Sure.
I hope so, and I hope that they exercise some wisdom with it. It could be a great thing. I just hope, because there's some dickhead up there in the booth who wants to play God, who thinks he should be down there on the field officiating. And, I'm going to throw my 2 cents in now.
Yep. Okay, so we decided to make our own 3 predictions for the next 3 years. What do we think?
Right.
We are going to, well, let's start with Derek. Let's go with Derek. What do you think is going to happen in the NFL for the next 3 years? I
think number 1, I think the Chiefs will get to a Super Bowl in the next 3 years.
Okay, I'll buy that.
I think that is as long as they still have Hill And I think that there's no way that and Mahomes stays on the track he's on. Mm-hmm. I don't see how they don't.
Yeah.
Number 2, kind of along the Le'Veon Bell thing, I think Antonio Brown will change teams again within the next 3 years.
Okay. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, I don't think he will stay a Raider. I kind of have number 3. I think Tom Brady may still be playing in the next 3 years.
That's a good one, dude. That's a really good one.
So, and then I also went
disagree with that one.
With a 4, I think the Bears will still not have a kicker. But
I mean, they'll have a position that's filled with a guy they call the kicker, but I think he'll probably suck.
But yeah, those were my big 3. I think the farthest reaching one is that Tom Brady will still be playing in 3 years. But
yeah, I don't think he will.
I think there's a possibility. It's my bold prediction.
Yeah, but it's close. I think if he does not win this next year, he'll try one more time. And then at the end of that second year, even if he doesn't or if he does, I think he hangs it up.
All right. Scotty, you go now.
You want me to go?
Yeah,
Yes.
I want you to go.
All right.
Before you get too drunk.
So, God damn. So, I actually picked Derek Carr. Derek Carr will get traded.
Okay.
That's what I think is going to happen. Because I'm with you. I will say I don't necessarily think Antonio Brown's going to be traded or get let go or he's going to move. I think it's going to be they're going to try to build around Antonio Brown and get rid of Derek Carr.
See, I think Brown's going to try and force a trade. He's been in the league so long now. Brown's
It's
been
possible.
in the league for a while.
It's possible. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying this is what I think may happen. The New York Giants will become the old Cleveland Browns. This is actually more like a 5 to 10 year prediction.
Okay.
I think they will literally draft quarterback after quarterback and try to find quarterback after quarterback, and it'll be tons before they find one to try and get back to the points where they would win 2 Super Bowls.
It'll be Eli's son.
Probably. It'll be that generation, for fuck's sake. My last one, which is bold, and I don't even know if I think it's going to happen, but Saquon Barkley is going to have a sophomore slump.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
They all know who it's going to.
They're going to stack the box, and you will probably... I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they cover 2 and put both guys on Saquon Barkley.
That's what he's going to have a big slump, I think.
I agree. I think it's not going to be the year. Fantasy football players that think about drafting him numero uno, you might think again. Anyways, Jeremy, you go, buddy.
Okay. Tyreek Hill will not get his daycare license.
What the fuck?
I don't think he will. I think he'll apply. He'll be denied. Nick Foles will be arrested for assault and battery after being licked by a fan.
Just to see if he actually tastes like Strike Force.
Like freedom. He
tastes like freedom.
Like freedom. Jerry Jones will become the new go-to for Bob Kraft's blowjobs now that his regular source has been shut down.
Oh, Jesus.
Those are my predictions, and they are solid.
They are probably. They're actually pretty solid. $20 as the fan that licks Nick Foles to see if he tastes like Strike Force's Jeremy Joseph.
If Bob Kraft Seaman gets me to a Super Bowl as the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, then I'm willing to suck his dick all day long.
God.
But I will not talk with an Asian accent.
I do also have one last one.
What?
Jason Garrett doesn't make it through the season this year.
That's
my last one.
That's a decent. That's 50-50, I think.
They have stuck with him through shit.
For shit.
Oh,
I am calling it.
I'm gonna call him Black Monday. I'm gonna say it'll.
You're gonna say Black Monday?
Yep.
It's very possible. It is very, very, very possible. But a lot of these fucking them boys fans, I'm so sorry, but you guys are not gonna have as great of a season as you think you're gonna have.
I don't know that division. You're gonna get 2 wins against the Giants.
That's true. That's
you're
true.
Probably get 2 against the Redskins.
Maybe that's. I
think they're gonna split it.
I think they're gonna split it.
What other team am I missing? Out of the
Eagles.
The Eagles.
They're going to get swept by the Eagles.
Swept by the Eagles.
So I don't think that they're going to have. I mean, because they always say it. This is our year. This is our year. Fuck! It's everybody's team's year at the beginning of the season. Dumb shit. It's not. It's not going to be as good of a year. Dak is not that great of a quarterback. He just made you pay a shitload of money, and he's going to possibly even get to the point to where Zeke is not a happy camper while he's playing this year. So I don't think it's going to be a good year. So. But that's all I
Browns
got.
down there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call Black Monday. That's what I'll say.
I'm gonna go with week. Ooh, I think it's gonna be early. I want to go halfway through the season. Week 7. That's probably what I'm gonna go with.
Or is this the last year of his deal?
It is the last year of his deal.
Oh, then it really isn't even Black Monday. They just don't. I just think they don't. I think he plays out his contract and they just don't bring him back.
I think that they have such a bad start, which I'd have to look at their schedule, which I haven't had a chance yet. But if they
play the Bears, so there's one loss.
There's one loss. I no doubt. I think the Bears are going to be strong this year. I think the Chiefs just kind of depends on what happens. I'm not going to pick them to be my Super Bowl team. I've actually got the Aints this year, man. I think the Saints are going to be fucking on just pissed off mode the entire season.
They're going to be very pissed.
They don't have Ingram anymore, though.
I don't give a shit. They've got Kamara. Who cares with Ingram?
They got Kamara and who they have?
I think Breeze is one of those guys that he can make gold with no-name receivers.
Possibly. He got Thomas, too. They still have Thomas out there.
Yeah, but I mean, he doesn't need superstar receivers to have an all-star year. He's a fucking
they got
just
Murray.
A very smart quarterback.
Yes.
Yeah, the Saints got Latavius Murray.
Right.
That's not a real name.
And that's their backup. Kamara's going to get majority of the touches.
And Buck Allen.
Yep. The Saints are going to be fucking nasty this year. And after last year, because they're so pissed off about that pass interference play, it's going to be on. So that's who I have as my Super Bowl champ, actually. At the beginning of the season, that's who I picked.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else have anything to go over briefly?
Yeah. It's July the 16th. 50 years ago today, Apollo 11 launched. I'm showing my support for NASA. Aside from being a sports fan, I am a NASA and space enthusiast.
Then you should know the moon landing was faked.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. This is the day, but they still
and
launched.
the Earth is fucking flat.
That fucking rocket still took off and flew right to the fucking soundstage.
Right. Yeah, man, Earth's flat.
I can't even talk to those people. I really can't.
Yeah, I wish they just walk right off the edge of the Earth.
I do too. No, the flat earthers I'm fine with.
Oh.
It's the moon landing hoaxers. I just cannot even deal.
Oh, well.
Fuck them.
Okay. Anything for you, Derek?
No, I got absolutely not shit.
Well, we only got one thing left to do.
Okay.
Are you guys tired?
I'm a little worn down. You're probably, drunk enough to where you could pass out at any time.
Actually, no, because I could mix my Strike Force Energy with my beer. I don't know how well it would taste. There is some orange.
I bet it tastes free to me.
It does taste free to me.
Do you even taste it anymore, the
Yes. Yes, I do.
Huh.
God.
Surprises me.
Actually, the orange might give it a little bit of a, if I was drinking like a Blue Moon or something like that.
Give it a
little
Give
zip
it like
to
a,
it.
Throw it in there.
Cool
No, I'm
summer
not drinking
treat.
a Blue Moon. No. I don't want it. The yellow's lemon, though. That might work.
Yeah, here.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't want to do it.
What the fuck do you want to do? You're so indecisive
I
when
don't
you
want
drink.
to. I don't want to ruin a good beer.
You mean a good buzz?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, that might sober you up.
I'm doing
Can't
just
have that.
fine.
You go right into
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
hallucinations
it's a Tuesday.
and shit.
It's a Tuesday night, kids.
Yeah, we got to get out of here pretty quick so Scotty can beat his wife.
Yeah.
God damn! What the fuck?
I know a good way that you can avoid.
She'd beat the shit out of me.
Yeah, she would. Especially with your stumbling ass around. You know how you can avoid the taste, affecting the taste? Butt chug it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's the preferred method of most alcoholics.
Yeah.
And you too.
No,
And,
not me. I'm good.
Sure.
I'll take it orally.
You take most things orally.
I knew it was coming. But anyways, guys, our sponsor for the show.
Taking my title.
Yeah, no, I'll let you have that one. Our sponsor for the show today is StrikeForceEnergy.com. It's our second. We have two sponsors now, but our other sponsor is StrikeForceEnergy.com. It's an excellent product. It's an additive for a drink of water that turns into an energy drink. It has no sugars, no calories, and just about as much caffeine as a cup of coffee. It comes in 4 flavors. They have grape, orange, lemon, and original, which we call Nick Foles, which was the licking joke that Jeremy had earlier.
Yes.
But do check them out, StrikeForceEnergy.com. Use the promo code NOMORECANS. These guys are awesome friends to the show, and it's a great product. My military friends have had it, actually have been using it for years, and they swear by it still to this day. So it's a very good product, StrikeForceEnergy.com.
Get you some, drink your freedom, and piss out independence. Liberty.
That's right. But anyways, do us a favor, guys. Check us out at Facebook, the Unfiltered Sportscast, which actually it is growing just daily. It just seems like it's starting to snowball, which is really great. We
Snowball, and your sister likes that.
You're funny, asshole.
No, fuck. That's when she kisses me with my jizz.
Yeah,
Oh, gross.
she does like that.
That's horrible. That's all you like that
She
shit.
tastes like Nick Foles.
That's disgusting. Ugh. But there also is a group that is open, is the Unfiltered Sportscast community. That is a group that if you want to get into that group, let me know. I will let you right in, and everybody can share whatever.
Let's everybody right in.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's not an exclusive club by any means.
No. I mean, obviously, if you say,
Oh, you're talking about the group?
yeah, the group.
I thought you were talking about Uranus.
Of course you did. But the group is really fun. A lot of people are starting to become, they're actually starting to share stuff and some of it's actually really fucking funny, that a lot of people that are in this group can share, that we can all see and comment and make friends and talk shit during sports. And even if it's nothing related to sports, I still share some pretty inappropriate shit. And it's doing well. So if you want to be a part of that group, just send me an invite request or whatever the hell you call it, and we'll let you in, obviously. So
yes. So if you have time, go check that out. If you have more time, go buy Bob Millette some shorts, properly fitting shorts.
Poor guy.
Don't forget about that episode.
Yeah,
be sure and tune into that.
Be
That's a
sure
bonus.
and
It's coming.
Tune in. That one will release again on Thursday. So do check that out. Bob is an excellent guy. We're giving him shit about his shorts, but he's a cool motherfucker.
I didn't have the guts to say anything to him to his face. And he doesn't listen to this, let's face it.
Actually, he is.
He shouldn't.
He did. At this point, guess what? He did.
Well,
Yeah.
You can no longer come to the stadium.
oh, yes, I can.
Tour.
I'll
No.
bring him some shorts.
Okay.
Mine
fair
should
enough.
fit him right.
Oh,
They
shit.
should be baggy enough. Bob, get some proper fitting shorts. Nobody wears coach's shorts anymore.
I do.
Yeah,
Not right now.
yeah, Bob, get some different shorts. Don't be like this drunk asshole.
Really. You can follow us on Instagram, which is the Unfiltered Sportscast. Twitter is at Unfiltered Crew. And YouTube, obviously, Unfiltered Sportscast. So if you guys would do us a favor, you are our advertising. If you have friends that would like to listen to this show, do us a favor and let them know. But if you have some people that hate us, do us a favor and
Jump in front of a fucking truck.
if you hate us,
Oh, tell your enemies.
that's right. And until next time, guys,
Take that filter off and make it dirty.
we'll see you. Take care. Woo!